Welcome to Open Collaboration Hydrology, the podcast that is all about using cutting-edge technology and collaborative approaches to drive innovation in water science. I'm Ines, your host, and I'm excited to guide you through the world of open collaboration. Our approach involves a diverse network of collaborators just like you, who use everything from hydrological models to social media to make a positive impact in water management. In this podcast, we will explore the benefits of open collaboration in hydrology, share inspiring stories of successful collaborations, and discuss the challenges yet to be overcome. So, whether you are a seasoned hydrologist, a curious listener, or somebody who cares about water, we invite you to join us. Let's get it started. Today, in Open Collaboration Hydrology, what was the first computational hydrological model? Computational models are tools that nowadays are even more used for making decisions about water. But when did this revolutionary use of models start? What was the first computational hydrological model? Well, I'm no historian, but as many other science fields, hydrology has historical discussions, and defining what is the first computational model is one of them. Some historians of hydrology mention that the stream flow synthesis and reservoir regulation model, or SSARR model, SAR model, built by the Corps of Engineering in the United States, is the first hydrological model. However, others point out that the Stanford Watershed model was the first hydrological computational model. Although several science historians accept that both were created about the same time, back in the 60s, many authors argue that SAR model didn't cover all the complexity that the Stanford model did, concluding that the Stanford Watershed model is the first computational hydrological model. The Stanford Watershed model was created by Ray Linsley and Norman Crawford back in 1960 at the Stanford University. The story takes us to a time when the world was the opening of digital revolution, and scientific exploration used this revolution in several domains. Drawing inspiration from papers in the journal Simulation, which spans fields as diverse as medicine, physics, and social sciences, Linsley and Crawford borrowed concepts like parameters and calibration from hydraulic models and analog groundwater systems. Okay, let's transport ourselves to the Stanford campus. In the summer of 1959, Linsley encountered a water management question. Well, he was asked to investigate the benefits for the campus irrigation water supplies of excavating trapped sediments at the Slarsvale Dam on San Francisco Creek. By then, two small dams, Slarsvale and Fell Lake, supply irrigation water to the campus. After several attempts to use reading calculations for the peak flows in small basins using only the watershed characteristics, Linsley knew that this type of questions could be answered by using computers. So, Linsley asked Norman Crawford and Dan Sokol, a geology PhD student, to get into the project. Crawford and Sokol developed a rudimentary water balance model for Los Trancos Creek on the then modest IBM 650 computer, a machine about the size of a 4-drawer filing cabinet. This humble endeavor laid the foundation for what will later become a transformative force in hydrological science and water management. According to Norman Crawford and Stephen Vargas, The then future and today's present of the Stanford model were driven by Ray Linsley's foresight and his recognition of the model's potential to reshape the landscape of water resource management. So, Linsley was an advocate for the computational hydrological models. And as the supervisor of several graduate students, he encouraged them to work hard, as all PhD students does, on expanding the model's scope and apply its outcome to the real water resource challenges. Yet, like any innovative and interdisciplinary endeavor, the model faced skepticism and challenges. It encountered a spectrum of reactions, from generals, National Science Foundation support, to vivid discussions in conferences with cautious views within the engineering hydrology community. However, two approaches in this model development eventually rooted in the ground. One is the practice of model calibration and parameters concept. The other is the focus on water balance. These two aspects eventually became integral to modern hydrological modeling. Years after its second version, many other adaptations at universities such as Kentucky, Texas, and Ohio were developed. And today, the model has a permanent development. In the annals of scientific progress, the Stanford Watershed model stands as a resounding testament to the power of academic collaboration, foresight, and innovation. Not only mark the advent of computational hydrological models, but also lay the foundation for modern hydrological modeling techniques. Thanks for tuning in to Open Collaboration Hydrology, the podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Share your thoughts with us and spread the knowledge with your friends. Follow us on social media for more exciting content. Until next time, keep open collaboration in hydrology.